What's up, my fellow comic book readers? Guys, I read some Marvel comics last night. Let's talk about them, all right? Starting off, we got Planet of the Apes versus the Fantastic Four. This kind of reminded me, if you've ever seen the original Planet of the Apes, I'm a huge Planet of the Apes guy, but if you ever watched the original Planet of the Apes, what would have happened if it would have been the Fantastic Four that kind of went back in time to that scene instead of just a regular, like, I think it was Charlton Heston, that they kind of stumbled across the apes. But what if it was Fantastic Four? And then there's kind of like a mix-up where the apes may or may not have got some powers. Hulk smashed everything, issue number 3. I was kind of curious, like, how they were going to put Hulk versus a black hole. But, like, I think they did it pretty well. And then Hulk still managed to, like, get out of that. Obviously, they're not going to kill the Hulk in this. So, you know, he gets out of it. I thought it was a very interesting take. I don't know if I liked it, but I didn't dislike it. Next up, we got the Mortal Thor, okay? Issues number 6 and 7. Yes, those two numbers can exist without laughing and raising your hands. I thought this was a pretty solid issue. I've really liked the Mortal Thor so far. And these two issues, Thor is starting to remember, or people around him are starting to notice that Thor isn't just a human being. You know, there might be a little bit extra to him. They haven't like pieced together that he's a god, but they've kind of like, they're like, how come you went against like a supervillain and didn't get killed? You know what I mean? So they're starting to piece it together. He's starting to piece it together, and he might have, you know, memory of who he actually is soon. But I thought this was a pretty solid little patch. And then my favorite out of everything I read, even I was really expecting to like Planet of the Apes, and I did like Planet of the Apes, but it just didn't feel too different from watching the original Planet of the Apes movie. There was no real, like, I mean, other than the obvious, like, superpowers, but this was really my favorite out of the 6 that I read. Again, Captain America 6 and 7, yes. This is fantastic. They're back to making me, I'm a Hulk fan. Hulk is the original superhero that got me into reading comics, right? So I'm a huge Hulk fan. So with that being said, General Ross is like the guy I want to punch in the mouth every time I see him. And they were kind of going through a phase where they were making General Ross seem like a good guy because, you know, one world under doom. But he's back to being the asshole that I hate, and I love it. I really thought this was a great issue. Captain America's kind of, you know, teaming up with, I'd say Samuel L. Jackson, but teaming up. And General Ross is back to being the bad guy. Red Hulk's back to being the bad guy, or the bad-ish guy, I guess. But I really love this. I'm hoping you're loving it, too. Those are my recommendations. Even if you're not going to read what I'm recommending, though, pick up something, read it, simulate that mind, and have a great day.